Hello and welcome to my book reading of The Love Formula, written by Carissa Jones. I'll be reading the chapter on being humble. And if you'd like more tips and tools, I'm on Instagram at The Love Formula Mom and on Facebook at Carissa Jones, The Love Formula. So sit back, relax, do some chores around the house, and listen to this in the background to learn about a quality of love, which is humble. Love is humble. It believes we are equal and on this journey together. Being humble can be a tough process for mostly everyone. It requires allowance of being open to learning from others. Most of the time, people want to impose their own ideas, beliefs, and opinions on you. In this way, they can show how much they know and feel important. This is the opposite of being humble, and instead is the ego being prideful. Many people will argue over trivial things just to be right. Once I was arguing over which direction was true north. The debate went on for about 10 minutes. It turns out I still don't know which one of us was right. The point is that we both wanted to be right, and we argued about it for too long. You're right and I'm wrong is a powerful statement. I'm positive that if I had said to the person who is arguing with me over which direction was north, "You're right and I'm wrong," the debate would have ended. Why? Because the only point of the discussion was to be and feel correct, which couldn't have ended well. Instead, being humble is about being open to learning from others. If the other person were right, I would have learned something new, that north was in a different direction than I'd thought. How many things are you shutting yourself off to because of certain limiting beliefs that you have and are not open to learning from others? Humbleness includes being open to instruction for the betterment of the relationship and yourself. Being prideful is the opposite of being humble. Having a prideful attitude can hurt the ones around you because you are elevating yourself above them. My coworker Alex was full of pride in everything he did. He made sure to let everyone know how good he was. He never backed down from a fight and always stuck an argument out until the end. Needless to say, he didn't make friends quickly. People didn't feel good when they were around him. They felt judged and inferior to him. Alex wasn't very humble, but prideful. On the other hand, confidence and letting others know your abilities is a beautiful gift for you to share. We all have talents and gifts to contribute to this world. However, we don't need to be so full of pride that we are only focused on ourselves. Focus on what everyone has to offer, including you. See the gift in yourself and everyone else. And lastly, uplift yourself and others with love. This is the key to a humble life. You can be noticed, have incredible talent, and share them with the world. Allow your gifts to shine through the love and humbleness. Having humility is when you can truly see who you are. It is the base of who and what you are at your core. This exists when you remove any beliefs or cultural norms of how you should be. The world has put an exhausting amount of requirements on everyone. One must be a certain way to be accepted and loved. Who you are without this cultural blanket is beautiful, precious, and innocent. Your core self, also known as your inner being, will not betray you. Allow it to lift you. At work, I was told to behave in a certain professional way. I have an upbeat personality and a loud laugh. My manager said that others could perceive me as not intelligent. He said that perception is everything, and if I wanted to be treated with respect, I needed to behave less bubbly. This way was rigid and without personality, and I listened and took on his belief. I believed that I had to do and say the right thing, otherwise I would get fired. I couldn't relax and just be myself. As I progressed in my career and in my maturity, I realized that this was a false belief that I had learned. Therefore, I didn't need to follow this rigid way of thinking. Of course, I remained professional, but added my own personality back into the mix. I began to make more jokes, share about my personal life, and enjoy work more. By being me, I was able to build stronger relationships with my coworkers. As I mentioned before, your core self will not betray you. You know what is okay to say to others without jeopardizing yourself. By being real, I was humble. When I was less bubbly, I was not my genuine self. Instead, this may have been portrayed as being unauthentic. When someone is perceived this way, it is hard to build sustaining relationships. Instead, I needed to come from a place of authenticity and love, which is humbleness. Many believe in the constructs of this world, and that to be accepted, only particular behavior is acceptable. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but something to be aware of. For example, children are taught to be polite and have manners. In other words, it is right to censor your thoughts and words as to not hurt anyone's feelings. Or that particular clothing is acceptable to look professional, or that certain words are bad and shouldn't be used in public. Who would you be if you didn't have these beliefs? Would you be different and seen more as an individual than like everyone else? These views give a false message that who you are at your core isn't good enough. It is saying that you can't trust yourself to know what is best for you and for society. You must listen to what your mother and father and all of your teachers have said you must be. What if instead you looked inside to know? Inside everyone is an inner knowing that recognizes what is best. The more experiences I have, the more I realize that being me is the best thing. Discarding the beliefs that have been programmed into me is actually fruitful. As just mentioned, I have been told I have a big personality. In my profession as an electrical engineer, I've stifled that because a manager told me that I should. What I've noticed is that my big personality has actually strengthened my relationships. People enjoy it when I am genuine. Even though my manager told me to do this and I listened, it was still hard to completely cover up who I was. When my authenticity came out, others around me smiled, laughed, and enjoyed my company. Humans are not robots. Every person has a unique part in this world. This individuality is needed to add variety to life. Humility is the path to seeing who we really are at our roots. Another pure quality mantra is this: we are all created equal, but different. We all have strengths and weaknesses. All right, well, that was one of 3 in the reading of the chapter on humble in my book, The Love Formula. If you enjoyed that, please like the video below, share it, and follow me on Instagram for more tips and tools. And definitely be on the lookout for videos 2 and 3 to finish up the chapter on humble.